Welcome back to Model Building by Thom. This is, part 3, I guess, of the R2-D2 build. Kind of catching you up as to what's been going on since the last report about a week ago. Of course, everyone kind of knows what's going on. What is it? It's the 26th of April. Or is it the 25th? Last Sunday of the month. How's that sound? I think it's the 26th. Anyways, so what we've been up to so far is going ahead and working on the various different parts of the legs. Let me go ahead and take these off. So these guys are able to go ahead and, you know, move back and forth like that. And go ahead and certainly fall down, as you just heard. And go ahead and hang these back up. Oops. And then here's the middle leg. And as you can see, he goes back and forth. Also, the wheels on that guy move. Front, back, or back and front. Now, I will admit, when I put the wheels on, they were a little bit on the tight side, so I had to go ahead and take my trusty little file here and either go ahead and file down a little bit of the peg area there. Also round off the wheels, and also go ahead and flatten the tops and the bottoms to go ahead and make sure that they did run. Now, that being said, this is all going to be placed on a base and it's going to be pretty stationary. Also, these guys here, which ultimately will end up going on the back. There it is. There's a peg that it goes into. Anyways, ends up going on the back here. And then there's a chrome piece that goes ahead and comes out. There's a chrome piece that goes across here. Anyways, there's a bunch of chrome pieces, and because I'm trying to primer this while it's on here, as you can kind of see, let me go ahead and put that back on there. Alright, so there's the one side. There's the back side of it. As you can probably guess, primering this guy would be a problem. I want to make sure they get completely primered. Probably should have gone ahead and primered the inside before I went ahead and glued it together, but it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and primer these in parts before I assemble it all together. I do have the chest area. Now, one of the things, as I mentioned, I believe before, there are parts of in here, and here that are supposed to be, in the case of R2-D2, blue. The paint scheme for it, actually for some of those areas, shows black. But I was going through, what was it? The ending of Rogue One, actually. And you kind of see R2 and C-3PO. And I was kind of paying attention to some of the locations of the paint. And indeed, like this area here, the paint scheme calls for it to be black. And go ahead and grab this real quick. Let's see. No, this is indeed... No, that's in the front part here. Huh. Funny part is, it doesn't give a color. Anyway, so it's saying that this area here should be black. Or this area here should be blue. These individual... Let me go ahead and bring this in. The individual spots here are supposed to be blue. This area here is supposed to be blue. These individual pieces are supposed to have blue. I think it's just going ahead and coming out of the notches. I'll need to double check that. Of course, these areas here are blue. And as I was saying before, in the middle here, and you might be able to see, hopefully you can, in this one quadrant right here, I've gone ahead and already scratched out the chrome plating there, and getting it ready to go ahead and put the blue down. Now the question becomes whether or not this metallic blue that I've got, and it was a tester's paint, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. If that doesn't work well enough, I'll have to go ahead and do a regular Model Master blue. I would much rather go ahead and do the metallic, because when you take a look at them, depending on how you catch him, R2 looks more like he has a little bit of a metallic blue to it than a regular, dark blue. So I want to try to go ahead and do the metallic blue on it, but I'm willing to forego that if necessary. Beyond that, of course, that matches a little bit more with his chrome dome. So, still haven't figured out how I'm going to go ahead and wire the lights. It does have 3 lights on here. And the kicker is the 3 pieces that come off. There's only 2 lenses. One of them doesn't have a lens, actually. So, I'm going to go ahead and make a 3rd one. So, anyways. And of course I need to go ahead and primer this guy in preparation for the head to be placed on. So far things are going pretty good. The inner leg, I'm not going to go ahead and get it assembled yet, because these pieces that help hold it in, as well as these 2 pieces. These 2 allow the leg to go ahead and go up inside. As you can see, it kind of goes up the side and it catches there on the lip. Then you lift it up, pull it over, and you can bring it back down. I want to go ahead and have it so that way if you actually go ahead and spend the time to actually look up inside, it'll be primed and ready to go. At least to some extent. And then of course, there's the bottom for that. So, things are going pretty good right now. Once I get finished with this one, I'll evaluate and of course shoot a video for you guys, and so you can see what it looks like. I do have some sanding and filing to go ahead and do. These aren't 100% smooth. So I want to go ahead and get them as good as possible, so that way it looks like it's one solid piece. Then of course, go ahead, paint it, primer it, paint it white, tape off the areas that need to be done in blue, and there's a lot. I mean, there's this entire piece here, this piece here, this piece here, of course the parts in the chrome area that need to be done. And one thing I'm not too sure about, I was looking at the R5 that you see in A New Hope when R2 and R5 and C-3PO get pulled out, and Skywalker and his uncle go ahead and are looking at the droids, and they pick out the red droid there first. The back of the droid, the red, he did have these areas painted. So I wanted to try to go ahead and get a good back view of R2, find out if any of these panels are indeed painted. So, anyways, that's where we stand right now. Hopefully everyone's having a good time, or at least as good as possible given the circumstances. Use the time, you know, have fun with the kids. I realize that most of you, if you've got kids, are probably going kind of stir-crazy nuts because you're now realizing what type of monsters the teachers actually said your kids were. I'm kidding. Maybe. I know my next door neighbor has certainly been complaining. Anyways, so have fun. Bring your kids into the model building. There's plenty of them out there. They're not necessarily expensive. You know, there are some Star Wars models that are 1/44th scale. They're not overly huge, but, you know, that'll give them a chance to go ahead and practice. Most of them nowadays are a good a good portion of them are snapped together, so they're pretty quick for the kids to go ahead and build. I still prefer the good old-fashioned glued ones. So, for model building by time, I will go ahead and bid you adieu. Happy modeling, everyone. Enjoy. See you back here shortly.